We are near the midway point of the semester. So this week, there's a little bit of a different format in terms of my brief lecture. I'm not actually going to be lecturing on any material from the text this week. You guys are still required to do your own reading this week. And I believe we're up to chapter 6, I believe it is. I'm going to talk about your next two assignments that are due. These assignments are a little bit more involved. I think they're a little bit more individualized. It's based on what you want to do. Um, One is really meant to just kind of get you ready for your midterm and your final presentations for the semester. But get into this slide. But before we do that, let's talk about kind of a mid-semester check-in. I think online asynchronous classes can be challenging. So at this point in time, really what I want you to do, if you're watching this video, go down to Blackboard, go to Edpuzzle, and make sure you've completed every single assignment. It's very easy with these online asynchronous classes to fall behind on things. So spend a few minutes kind of crossing off your list of that you've done every single Edpuzzle. Look at the discussion board assignments. Make sure that you've not just completed the discussion board assignment on your own, but you've engaged with other students when instructed to. Um, Additionally, there have been, I believe, two separate Blackboard assignments that were required. Just double check that your Blackboard assignments have been submitted. Last thing about this slide. So like I said, you're supposed to do the reading on your own. Before watching this, you should have read chapter 6. At the end of this video, there will be quiz questions on chapter 6, right? The normal format is you guys read it, I lecture on the chapter, and then there's quiz questions at the end. I'm not lecturing at the end, but I'm still giving you the quiz questions. So, does your pre-midterm assignment look like? Well, this is going to be speak the language. If you guys have had me before, you know how I feel about kind of being a professional and what it entails. And a major part of being a professional is simply speaking the language, being very confident in really what you're speaking about, right? So, this pre midterm assignment is supposed to help get you ready for your midterm and final, which really require you to speak on a given topic. All right. So some of you guys just need more practice. And that's really kind of what it's about. So you're going to have to, I'll send a link in Blackboard, read the International Society for Technology and Education website. Right. And then from there, you are going to have to present, whatever you want to call it, a 4 to 6 minute social media video of of yourself explaining what ISTE is. All right. So what am I looking for in this 4 to 6 minute video? Well, let's start with be professional. Introduce yourself. Don't be kind of in a dark room in a hoodie in your bed, right? Be professional. This is a social media video. Imagine you are some sort of social media influencer. We all know them. We all have them, right? And you're creating this video trying to explain what IST is to other or future educators, right? So you want to include what's the vision statement, the mission statement, the objectives of ISTE. Other things that I want specifically to be identified are the ISTE standards for students, and a very brief interpretation of each of these. But lastly, most important is I want you to be creative and make it interesting. This is a social media video. You can edit this, and you should edit this for social media. Um, Clearly, whether it's Instagram or TikTok, there's all sorts of filters, add-ons, whatever it will that will help capture someone's attention. I want you to use these things while being very professional. So, you being graded on? Okay, some things I'm looking for in this assignment. Right, this is our pre-midterm assignment. Right, include the vision and mission statement. Remember, you are explaining to somebody what ISTE is. Somebody who has no idea what it is, and that's your job. Okay, the ISTE standards. I already said a very brief interpretation of each of them for students. Professionalism. Okay, like I said, you're recording a video of yourself. It shouldn't be in a dark room in a hoodie, right? Speaking with confidence, clarity, and enthusiasm. If you don't know how to pronounce a word, Google it, right? You could go to the dictionary and read the uh, the phonetic way to say it, right? Or you could go to YouTube and learn how to say these things, right? But part of being a professional is being able to speak with confidence and pronounce certain words correctly. The last thing that you will be graded on is creativity, and that one of your jobs here is to catch the audience's attention. If you're flat, if your video is just kind of you mumbling along, right? This is really going to be grab my attention at all. All right, so that's another major aspect of what I'm grading you on. Obviously, I'm leaving this very open, right, for interpretation on how you want to do these things. That's up to you. Have fun with it while being professional. All right, to your midterm. Okay, so your midterm is going to be due in approximately 2 weeks. Right, we're looking at the end of October. And what you have to do is, I want you to identify a topic in health and wellness. And this can be anything, right? So I gave you a list of just 4 very quick topics off the top of my head. Some, like cardiovascular disease, is a very broad topic that you probably have to be a little bit more specific about. Then I went to things like obesity rates in adolescent children, food consumption patterns in adolescent children, early childhood specialization, and burnout in sports. Okay, so I gave you guys a few different things, from nutrition to obesity to sports. It's really anything in health and wellness, and really how it connects back to children and adolescents. Um, you need to find a minimum of 3 peer-reviewed references, and you have to create a engaging PowerPoint. So once again, you are going to have to speak on your topic, and now you're also going to have to incorporate some research into this topic. Some things that should be included in this PowerPoint presentation. What's the cause? What's the mechanism driving this problem? What's driving obesity rates? That's things we've talked about all semester, and specifically I talked about in our last presentation. Whether it's a lack of activity or an increase in total caloric intake, but use research to back all of these things up, right? How does the research back this up, right? And then there should be a slide or two about potential solutions, right? Specifically highlight, and then very specifically highlight how technology and or physical education classrooms can address this problem. And then finally, a slide that's kind of wrapping it up and putting recommendations going forward. Right. So how many slides should this be? I don't know. A minimum of 5 slides, upwards of 8. I think 8, upwards of about 8. You have some sort of introduction to your topic. Then you get into some of what the research says. Do you need a slide per paper? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe just each paper talks about like 2 potential issues with the problem. That seems like to make sense. The cause of the problem, okay, that could be a slide or 2. Potential solutions could be a slide or 2, and then the conclusion. And really, that's, again, how you do this is up to you. I'm leaving these assignments a little bit more open for interpretation, right? But as long as you're kind of checking the boxes, so it's going to be graded, you should be good. So an easy 10 points is a relevant topic, right? A relevant topic within the health and wellness side of things. It could be anything in like the physical education classroom. It doesn't have to be. Again, if you're unsure, just shoot me an email. I'll let you know. I'll give you a quick yes, a quick no. Your peer-reviewed references. That's going to be about 30 points of your final grade. I want a brief explanation of the research, its main findings, and how it's connected to your topic. Again, I understand how sometimes research can be boring. Well, find a way to really just highlight the major talking points and things that people are going to gravitate towards, whether it's a statistic or like a surprise mechanism that drives a certain thing. Okay. Other things, your slides, right? So you're going to be graded on your slides. Are they concise? Are they visually appealing? Right. So part of being concise is having less than 10 words per bullet point. Obviously, sometimes you kind of have to go beyond this rule, but like the general rule of thumb is like 7 to 8 words per bullet point. Don't just copy and paste things, right? If you have an entire paragraph on a slide, that is not visually appealing and you're going to lose your audience. Okay, so I'm grading you on that. You're speaking. So once again, right, speak the language. Same exact thing as your last assignment. I'm looking for confidence, clarity, and enthusiasm. And additionally, since there's going to be video here, right, you have to be professional. How do you record a video in PowerPoint? Well, again, find out. That's part of what this class is. I mean, it's pretty simple. If you have no idea how to record a video in PowerPoint, there should be a record button in PowerPoint and then record video at the top in the tabs. If you are completely lost on that, and after doing some homework on your own, you can reach out to me and I'll gladly help you. Another potential solution is if you don't have PowerPoint, uh, St. Peter's has something called a Porto, and you can use a Porto to access PowerPoint. You can simply email, if you don't know how to access it, you can simply email IT. Um, and then the potential solutions, 20 points. Make sure it ties in with technology and or physical education. It doesn't have to be both. I'm okay with that. And what's your ideas? Like, what's your ideas on these potential solutions? It doesn't have to come from the research. It doesn't have to be based in research. I want you to give us some potential solutions. At the end of the day, that's where kind of research starts. Just thinking what could potentially fix a problem. Okay. Um, so again, both of these assignments are a little open for interpretation, but I think you guys should get the point of what I'm looking for. Part of it just being very confident and clear about your topic. Creating these very engaging video assignments. Now, this PowerPoint, the goal of this PowerPoint is going to be to display these PowerPoints within the St. Peter's hallways. We got flat screen TVs in some of the St. Peter's hallways in Dunedin. The goal would be to essentially put these on one thumb drive and have them just play on those flat screen TVs. So at this point, you should kind of realize how important this is because other people are going to be seeing these PowerPoints. This shouldn't be something, again, that is not professional. Okay, so other people will be watching these, and the same thing is going to apply to your final. And one of the reasons why I gave you a pre-midterm assignment so you can kind of practice this, and so I can give you a little bit of feedback before these are due. So if you have any questions, let me know. That is it for now.